I am here with the man, Ty Branaman, here at the HVAC School Symposium 2024. Ty has a brand new position. We're going to let him talk about that and some of the other things that he's got going on in 2024. So I'm going to flip the camera around. Ty's going to take it over a little bit. So, Ty, what is your news that just kind of dropped right before AHR a couple weeks ago?
Well, I joined Esco Institute, so I went from being trying to help everybody independently and by myself to being a part of a team. So now I can work with a group of people, and it's so great to have that support because there's things that I want to do that I can't by myself. I don't have the abilities or the specifications to do that. So working with a team of people for that same goal it's tremendous. It's a huge weight off my shoulders, and I can do so much more stuff too.
Yeah, it's it's got to be pretty cool to have those tools in your toolbox now, because I know just from shooting content on my cell phone, things like audio quality, having parts and tools and displays set up, and you travel a lot, you're on the road a lot, so kind of bringing that stuff, keeping up with it's got to be a challenge. And now you have a team and organization, and now you can just concentrate on teaching. Is that a pretty accurate
Yeah, so it's
description?
several aspects. So I can now have a steady income, so I can help support my channel because it takes money and takes time to
Yeah.
keep that running. So I can have a steady income where I can support my wife and my channel. But also with ESCO, they have tons of learning resources for technicians, for schools, for people putting their own training programs out, certifications, career level certifications, and a lot of the stuff is print material. And so they're wanting to get into more of the video side, being able to reach more people and help more people. And that's one of the aspects I can bring in. There's some great people there, amazing, brilliant people there, and it's awesome to be a part of that. The whole thing is, helping each other grow. And I've learned so much getting to work with some of these brilliant minds, and hopefully I can connect the information they already have and represent it to a whole new group of people.
That's really cool. So for years, I thought all Esco did was do EPA cards, and like that's where I got my EPA card from was Esco, and I didn't realize until just a few years ago that they are an entire training organization. Like you name it, and they have some great training material. So what specifically will be like your role and like your day to day, and what kind of stuff will you be doing with this new
Well,
role?
going to be technical content developer, so
Okay.
I don't have a specific one job. We're working on lots of things because ESCO is actually a standards organization. So they've even written code for other countries.
Oh wow.
They're in meetings with the Department of Energy, with the EPA. So all the new stuff that's happening is coming out. They know about it really first, and so a lot of information I have that's actually privileged information that we're not able to talk about yet because it hasn't been finalized. But it's
Interesting.
amazing how much behind the scenes things that go on. So they're able to get this information ahead of time, getting it written up, and be able to put it into play so that as soon as things are released, they have the information ready to go and ready to roll once it's finalized. Because we know things change a lot. But I didn't realize how big ESCO was when I first started. I was thinking, I knew EPA, knew they helped the schools, knew they had books and training, but the fact that it's being a full standards organization was, pretty impressive.
Yeah, I didn't realize that either. So for your average technician that is consuming content like yours, like mine, HVAC school, that just wants to get better, how does ESCO fit in that? Just your average technician, small contractor, what kind of things can they go to ESCO for to help advance?
Great question. One of the things I love is the HVAC eLearn network. And so they take not only their courses, but other courses. They've approved these courses. And as you watch the videos, it goes through with quizzes. So not just, watching some content, but as you go through and answer the quizzes and you apply the learning, you get an actual certificate at the end. And they can log all of your learning and your training. So instead of just randomly getting information everywhere, which is still good, like learn everywhere you
Yep.
can, but this puts some formality behind it. And then once you start taking the certifications, and we know that a certification doesn't mean you're better, but it does show that you've completed something. It
Right.
does show that you put that extra time in, and you have something to show for that extra energy. So I think that's pretty cool that we promote our learning, we promote our growth, and however that requires formal or schooling or learning randomly as we go. Whether it's even if you got the books and read them, which is difficult for me,
Yeah.
but I do it because that's one of the best ways to get information. Some of the information I get is from ESCO books that I read and figure out how to make this into a video for people to share.
Very cool. So could a small contract could a contractor company kind of use ESCO to be like their training platform? Like this is how we're going to bring new people in, use their content, get them certification, so we can kind of track their progress as they learn more skills, get more certifications under their belt, help them advance in the company. Is it kind of set up like that where a small contractor can
We're
can
working
do that?
on making some content specifically for the contractors in
Okay.
there. But yes, our learning platform has so many different variables. You could literally, it's like Legos. You could take the building blocks that you need, put them together, and build your own course. And with the certifications, you can have it to where it's entry level. Then you have your base level, your master level, and even instructor level certification. So that it leads a learning path. And then you can put what you specifically need. For example, if you don't have oil heat, there's no reason having an oil class in that. So you can build those pieces as you need, and then you can customize them from there. But it has that formal level that's able to have a path, because we know training is overwhelming. Like, hey, I need to get these people trained. I got all this information. I got to teach them. Where do I start?
Yep.
And we even have, I think there's a book they have for how to build a training lab.
Wow, that's really interesting. I wish I would have made myself more aware of that when I had my company, but it's good to be able to share it to people now. One last question. You were recently recognized by your peers at the HVAC Tactical Awards. What was that?
That was a huge honor. I mean, just speechless.
Right, yeah.
Because the stuff I do, it's not necessarily entertaining. I do it for education.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there's some really cool people out there that do some really neat stuff, and there's people that do all kinds of like dancing stuff. So the fact that what I love the most about it is that people want to learn, and that they're so excited about learning, and I can help people learn. That's what's great. The fact that people want to learn and people are learning, and they like that enough to vote for me, because there's amazing people. Tim, you are amazing what you do. Like, we argue, but we argue, we respect each other, and
Right.
I
And you're
love that.
pretty much right every time. I just have to.
No, I'm not. And even whether right or wrong, the fact that I get to look at something from another perspective.
That's always helpful.
And I think everybody, we should learn how to argue passionately, but still always respect the person. And there's it's like stones on a river. You look at a river and the stones are all smooth, and that's because they've been rubbing against each other, and they've rounded each other's edges off, so they're not sharp and they don't cause that damage. So that's how we grow. I mean, there's so many people that will send me a message and we'll argue about like stuff that you're wrong. I'm wrong all the time, and that's how we grow, though.
Yep.
And I think it's a good thing.
Yeah, that's awesome. So yeah, I tend not to like the word influencer, but because it kind of brings some other connotations of people that do stupid stuff online that doesn't really impress me. But you bring a little bit of respect back to that word influencer when you won that award. So I'm really glad that you're part of this whole network that I've been able to become part of too. So congratulations on that. Looking forward to seeing what you do for Esco, but also building the Love to HVAC brand up some more and doing some more content there. So please, if you're not already following Ty, get out from under the rock that you're on or under and look him up. It's Love 2 HVAC. So it's not hard to find. Thank you, Ty.
Thank you. And again, if you don't like my content, that is okay, as long as you're learning from somebody.
Yeah.
And ideally have multiple different points of view. Don't just learn from me. Look at Craig, look at HVAC. There's so many amazing, I can't even list them all.
Right.
Like the stuff you're doing is great. There's so many different parts of this industry. Even if it's something you're not currently working with, maybe you're not thinking of building science, but if you're learning about it, you're preparing your future. So when that opportunity comes up, you're ready to go get it.
Yeah, very good. Thanks, Ty. Again,
you.
all right, we'll
Appreciate
see
you.
you on the next one.